General Motors just lost billions in sales. The media calls it a warning sign. It's not a warning, it's a punishment. American truck buyers didn't disappear. They got smart, they did the math, and they walked away. The lots are full, the showrooms are empty, and GM is just the first one too embarrassed to lie about it. Here's what actually happened. The average new truck in America now costs $50,000. $50,000 for a work truck. Not a yacht, not a vacation home. A truck. The same truck a plumber needs to get to your house by 7 a.m. These men can't afford to buy them anymore. And the manufacturers knew that. They just didn't care. So what did GM do? They called their lobbyists. They blamed the war. They blamed inflation. They blamed interest rates. But inflation didn't add a $100 paint sealant that cost $40 to spray on. GM did that. Ford did that. Stellantis did that. One model a year at a time. And every time a buyer flinched, they called it market conditions. Now look at what actually happens when you sign that contract. 84-month loan, $50,000 truck. Current interest rates. You will pay $65,000 total for a truck that will be worth $18,000 when you make your last payment. You don't own a truck, you own a payment. And here's the part that should make you furious. They designed the loan to outlast the warranty on purpose. That's not a coincidence, that's a business model. And the product itself? It's getting worse, not better. Modern trucks are more complex, more fragile, more expensive to fix. The capability gains are tiny. The cost gains are catastrophic. They pulled out the big reliable engines and replaced them with small turbocharged motors running at extreme pressure. A 2.7-liter engine inside a 6,000-pound truck. Designed to pass a lab test, not survive real work. Hand that truck to a guy towing a 40-foot trailer through Arizona in August, and watch what happens at 62,000 miles. A blown head gasket. Right after the warranty expires. That's not bad luck, that's engineering. The carbon buildup, the intercooler failures, the timing chain wear. All of it timed to land the moment the manufacturer's legal obligation to you runs out. Then they took away your gearbox, CVT transmissions, a rubber belt on a pulley system, inside a work truck. When it fails, and it will fail, that's $4,000 minimum. And they'll tell you it's just wear and tear, because you used your truck for what a truck is supposed to do. Then they took away your controls, no knobs, no switches. Everything buried inside a touchscreen. Your climate control, your tow settings, your mirrors. 3 menus deep on a piece of consumer electronics glued to your dashboard. That screen delaminates in heat, freezes in cold. And when it dies, you don't replace a $10 knob. You replace a $3,500 proprietary module that only the dealership can source. You paid $50,000 for a work truck. They put a tablet in it, and it gets darker. The finance office is where the real robbery happens. The price on the sticker is not the price. By the time the finance manager slides that contract across the desk, there are numbers on that page you never agreed to. Market adjustment fees, documentation fees, a nitrogen tire fill, a theft deterrent system that is literally a sticker on your window, listed as a line item on your loan. You can't remove them. They're already in the financing. Sign or leave. Most people sign. Then the truck breaks because they designed it to. And you have to bring it back to the same dealership. They charge $160 to $200 per hour. They plug in a laptop and read a code off a screen. 4 minutes of work, $160 bill. And you can't go anywhere else just because the diagnostic software is proprietary. The independent mechanic down the street can't access it. The manufacturer locked the system and handed the key exclusively to their own dealership network. You have no choice. That was the point. Then they offer you the extended warranty you said no to in the finance office, because now you understand what it actually is. Insurance against failures they already knew were coming when they built the truck. They engineered the problem. Then they sell you the policy against it, at a profit. And here's the part that should make your blood boil. While you drive that truck to work every morning, it is watching you. Your location, your speed, how hard you brake, how fast you accelerate. The manufacturer packages that data and sells it to brokers. Those brokers sell it to your insurance company. And your insurance company raises your premium, not because you had an accident, but because your own truck told them you braked hard at a yellow light last Tuesday. You are paying their loan, their service rates, their warranty premium, and you're doing it inside a surveillance device you call your property. But buyers figured it out. The pre-owned market for trucks built between 2000 and 2008 is on fire. Prices are going up, not down, on 20-year-old trucks. That doesn't happen with normal used vehicles. That happens when people realize something real is being lost, and they start holding on to what's left. A clean 2003 Silverado with a 5.3-liter V8 and a real automatic transmission isn't a compromise. It's a target. No touchscreen to fry, no telematics broadcasting your location, no software lock stopping you from buying a part and fixing it yourself. The dealership is completely cut out. That's exactly the point. Private sales are pulling buyers out of showrooms entirely. Cash deals in driveways, the buyer, the seller, and a truck that someone actually owns outright. And the manufacturers are terrified. Right to repair laws are moving through state legislatures right now. Bills that would force manufacturers to open their diagnostic systems to independent shops and private owners. The manufacturers are lobbying against every single one, not because it's unsafe, because it's expensive for them. GM didn't have a bad quarter. They had a reckoning. Ford is watching. Stellantis is watching. And the smart money says they won't build a better truck at an honest price. The smart money says they double down and hope you run out of options. They haven't met the guys who keep 20-year-old iron running. GM didn't lose those sales because of a war. They lost them because the product stopped being worth the price, because the dealership stopped being a place where a man buys a truck and became a place where a man signs away 7 years of his financial life for a machine that spies on him, locks him out of his own engine, and starts losing value the second he pulls off the lot. The buyers who walked away made the right call. The only question now is whether the rest of you will too.